To celebrate Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday today, there is a new eye-opening film about his life and legacy. It's MLK FBI. Film critic Pam Powell sits down with the film's director.
Thanks for joining me on WCIA TV. I really appreciate it to talk about your film, MLK FBI. Can you tell our viewers how you learned about the declassification of these sealed videos and all this footage?
In 2017, the producer of the film, Ben Hadeen, had read a book written by a historian named David Garrow that looked at the FBI and MLK and Hoover and the fact that they monitored him for a number of years. And when he finished the book, he gave me a call and said, I think we found our next film. We had already worked on a film together called Two Trains Running. And I read the book. I completely agreed with Ben. We reached out to David Garrow, who I knew personally because he had been a consultant on Eyes on the Prize too. And we went to his house in Pittsburgh. We brought a camera crew, and we spent about 4 hours with David. And he sort of, in this interview that we had with him, he sort of set the framework for what the film is. He told us about the genesis of his book and the research he had done about the FBI and Hoover, and the fact that a lot of that material, the audio tapes that they had recorded of King and his associates, would be open to the public in 2027. But we were able to get, through the Freedom of Information Act, transcripts. Some of them were heavily redacted, but there was still enough information there for us to be able to tell the story.
As you're going through the book and as you're doing the research, what was one of the most shocking elements to you, even given your profound knowledge about this topic?
I think the most shocking element was the fact that the FBI would go to the lengths that they did to discredit Dr. King by even creating a letter, basically, suggesting that Dr. King should commit suicide. And then on top of that, putting together an audio tape, supposedly Dr. King in a relationship with a woman in one of those hotels and sending it to his wife. That's pretty despicable, with this professional, the national police, our American police force.
Documentary filmmakers generally do a brilliant job of, presenting information and being very neutral. And I understand that you're a professor at NYU, is that correct?
Yes, I am.
Is that one of the things that you try and instill in your students, is that neutrality?
One cannot but be subjective when they're working on the film, when they're creating something. But you have to be mindful of your subjectivity. You don't want to go too far to the left or too far to the right. You want to try to, even in that subjectivity, have a certain kind of even-handedness. Now, as a professor at school, when I'm talking to students or I'm showing films, documentaries, I'm trying to show them various documentaries where filmmakers are tackling sometimes very difficult and complicated subjects. And some documentarians go very far to push their agenda, some don't. I happen to be on the opposite side of that spectrum, where I'm trying not to push my agenda too heavily, to put it into your face, say, I want you to think this way. I don't want you to think a certain way. I want you to be able to ask questions as you're watching the film.
You must have had hours and hours of footage and information to pour through. Can you tell me a little bit about that process?
We always bring on with these archival documentaries, we try to bring on a very, very strong and good archival producer who will be able to dig into the material. So we found a gentleman named Brian Becker, who I think did an extraordinary job in finding so many hours of stuff. So we gave him certain parameters. Initially I said, we want the March on Washington. We want King in Montgomery, Alabama with the Montgomery bus boycott. We want you to go and find all these documentaries that have been made about the FBI and J. Edgar Hoover. But then on top of it, I said to both him and to my editor, Laura Tomaselli, when I was a young man, I watched a lot of these old movies about the government and how the FBI was charging through the destruction, destroying communism, getting the bad guys. I think we can take some of those old movies and use some of those clips to, demythologize the FBI in a way, if we do it properly. So I came up with the titles, and I had seen all these films, quite honestly, Pam, lots of times.
Yeah.
I was a communist for the FBI, Big Jim McClain with John Wayne being an FBI agent, the FBI story with Jimmy Stewart. And then the seminal show that I grew up with in the 60s, the FBI with
Right.
Efren Zimbalist Jr. So, those were an opportunity. I mean, Brian and Laura would not have known about those films and television shows at all, but I did.
Right.
So that was the other element we brought to the table.
See, with age comes wisdom. It's okay.
It comes with wisdom. It comes with a lot of history.
What do you hope that viewers will take away from this film?
You know, I hope that when viewers watch this film, they'll sort of take a pause and look at our history, look at American history, and say, "Wow, there were some very difficult things that were happening during that time." And Dr. King, even though he's still a great man, he had a very complicated life. He was a flawed human being, like all of us are. But the other thing they should be able to take away is that the history that I'm representing and presenting in that film, quite honestly, Pam, is a history that's being repeated time and time again in America, you know. And maybe if people watch this film and then go back and read some books and try to understand who we are as Americans, and that, you know, we need to sort of kind of step up about where this country is going and what we should be, maybe we'll save ourselves. But who knows? I mean, because think about last week. I mean, that attack on the Capitol is not an anomaly when you think about American history. It's part of American history, you know, the DNA of many Americans who feel like, you know, when they're not happy with things, burn it down, you know, burn it down. You know, let's not have debate. Let's not have, you know, debate and talk about it. And even though we may not disagree, we try to come to some consensus. No, if I don't like it, burn it down. And that's what the gentleman in the White House basically was saying to that mob. I'm not happy. You shouldn't be happy. Burn it down.
Right. Sam Pollard, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today on WCIA TV.
Very nice meeting you too, Pam.
MLK FBI is now in theaters and on streaming services. And remember to check out Real Talk with Chuck and Pam online.